that obviously Caitlin Clark was going out of her way to try to put on some mass, some bulk, all right? And frankly, who could blame her after the way last season went, her rookie year, because you could tell there was a lot of women that were just flat bigger. Even if they were as tall, they were just bigger and looked like a more mature kind of body type that you would expect in a professional basketball league.
Caitlin Clark is back, bigger, stronger, and more determined than ever. Gone are the days when defenders could throw cheap shots to shake her. The WNBA bullies who thought they could push her around? They're in for a rude awakening because this Caitlin Clark is done being an easy target.
4 from the field, and she's guarding Clark 94 feet. Clark? Oh, looked like Clark got smashed, no call. Here's Thomas the other way. Mabry a 3. No.
This Caitlin Clark has been in the gym, stacking muscle like she stacks up points, and now the league is about to regret ever trying her. For too long, she's dealt with dirty plays, excessive contact, and intentional bumps meant to send a message. Well, message received. Now it's her turn to respond.
She figured out the right way that I need to get stronger. She's done a great job of getting in the weight room and focusing on her strength in terms of low center gravity, time under tension, all of those things. Okay, so let's take a look at this. This is starting to make the rounds today, and it is wild. I mean, we'll look at some fan reaction, but it's clear Caitlin Clark has put on real mass, been in the weight room. I mean, guys, that's real shoulders and guns. I power lifted for 15 years and was a bodybuilder. She's putting in the work now, all right? She is putting in the real work. Right here. Another one right here. I mean, those arms, seriously, right here. The WNBA is, I mean, they're on notice. Look at these arms and these shoulders. Her trapezius muscles have really popped out.
In Clark's response, she's been hitting the weight room harder than ever, preparing for what's coming. She's no longer just the best shooter in the game. She's a physical force ready to stand toe-to-toe with anyone who dares to challenge her. In her college days, defenders tried everything to knock Caitlin Clark off balance, bumping, shoving, and using sheer physicality to slow her down. But she adapted. She never backed down, never lost focus. She took the hits, absorbed the contact, and still dominated.
But now?
Now she's not just absorbing the contact, she's dishing it out. Let's be real, some of the so-called WNBA veterans weren't too thrilled about her arrival. They've seen what she brings, and they know she's coming for their spots. That's why they've tried to rough her up, hoping she'd fold. But instead of shrinking, she's been preparing. Instead of complaining, she's been working. This time, when a defender throws a cheap shot, Clark won't just take it. She'll stand her ground, stare them down, and keep playing her game. She's not just dodging elbows anymore. She's ready to throw some of her own. She's not letting an ill-intentioned goon derail her season with a reckless foul. That's not happening, not this time. Clark is stepping into this new season with a body built for war, a game sharper than ever, and a mentality that screams, "Try me if you dare," and if the WNBA thought she was dangerous before, just wait until they see what happens now that she has the strength to back it up. Caitlin Clark didn't wake up one day with this intimidating new frame. This is the result of relentless effort, months of sweat, sacrifice, and an unshakable belief that the only way to silence her doubters was to outwork them. Every early morning lift, every grueling conditioning session, every rep in the weight room was her way of saying, I will not be pushed around anymore.
They were up in the first quarter. The Fever getting their first win last night in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
That's got to be pretty tough, I would think, on Caitlin to just really be patient with herself and with her team.
And that's not a virtue of Caitlin's.
She attacked this offseason like a woman on a mission, bulking up with a level of dedication only the truly great possess. Her arms sculpted, shoulders broader, legs built to explode past defenders and absorb contact like it's nothing. And those biceps? They look ready for all the smoke. This isn't just an improvement. It's a transformation into a basketball machine. Let's get one thing straight. Clark was already lethal. Even with a slimmer frame, a slower WNBA start, and defenders treating her like a crash test dummy, she still put up historic numbers, shattered records, and proved she's the most electrifying player to enter the league in years. Now, with added strength, defenders who thought keeping up with her was a nightmare are about to experience pure horror. But here's the kicker. Clark isn't just stronger physically, she's stronger in every way. She's got veterans in the locker room who have her back, seasoned pros who see her potential and want to ensure she reaches it. The WNBA may have had a few players eager to test her, but guess what? She's got her own enforcers now. Players who are ready to step in, set the tone, and make sure no one gets away with unnecessary cheap shots. And let's not forget the mastermind behind the madness, her world-class coach, a tactician who knows exactly how to weaponize this new version of Caitlin Clark, not just giving her the green light to take over games, but designing the system around her strengths. With a team that believes in her, an enforcer to watch her back, and a coach ready to unleash her, Clark is stepping into maximum overdrive. Remember when Chindi Carter thought she could just shove Caitlin Clark to the floor like it was nothing? Carter flexed her physicality against a slimmer Clark and brushed it off as just basketball, while the entire world saw it for what it really was, a blatant cheap shot meant to intimidate. And Carter loved every second of it. The shove, the strut, the smugness. She wasn't just trying to knock Clark down. She was trying to send a message that Clark wasn't welcome, that the WNBA belonged to a certain group of players, and that if Clark wanted a spot, she'd have to earn it the hard way. But that kind of thinking only works if the target stays down, and Clark? She never stays down. She didn't then, and she sure as hell won't now. This new version of Clark, the one sculpting her body into a machine built for endurance and power? Yeah, she's not getting bullied anymore. In fact, Clark's added size only highlights the massive physical gap between her and Carter, making her look like an undersized guard trying to fight out of her weight class. If Carter tries that same move again, she might find herself bouncing off Clark like she ran into a brick wall. And then there's Dejounte Carrington's infamous dirty eye poke, an intentional move disguised as an accident, a cheap play that disrupted Clark's entire rhythm. With blurred vision, her shooting percentage dropped, and suddenly, the deadliest shooter on the floor was compromised. That's exactly what Carrington and the rest of the WNBA's bullies wanted, to throw her off her game by any means necessary. But here's the difference between then and now. Clark is coming back stronger, tougher, and fully prepared for the smoke. If Carrington wants to get physical again, she's going to have to deal with a Clark who isn't just dodging contact but delivering it. No more taking hits and pretending they didn't happen, no more backing down. Clark is walking into this season with the strength, attitude, and fire to return the energy whenever necessary. Carrington wants to throw an elbow? She'll get one right back. Carter wants to try another cheap shot? She'll find herself on the wrong end of a mismatch. The days of Clark being the league's punching bag are over. Even with all the physical abuse she took last season, she was still one of the most impactful rookies in WNBA history, still shattered records, still made defenders look helpless. So just imagine what she's about to do now that she has the strength to match her skills. Anyone who thought they could keep her down is about to learn the hard way. Clark isn't just back, she's back and built for war. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more updates. Stay tuned.